Hello and welcome back to All the Gear Some Idea. So today we are on the K100, not on the Cortina or the ZZR. And today we're going to be fitting a new Speedo and BEP 3.0. Okay, so everyone who is aware of the K100, and if you're doing your own build, you will know it's got this massive, ugly Speedo that will not suit this bike. I've tried, it just looks ridiculous. So I have bit the bullet and I was deciding between the BEP or the Tenet, and I did end up going for the BEP. I don't know who it's made by, I just know it's called a BEP 3.0, and I've got an eBay special Speedo. So we're going to get rid of the lunchbox, so the bike will not start without this being fitted. There is a way of tricking it somehow, from what I was reading, but it doesn't mean necessarily the battery's going to be charging, or it just seems like a pointless exercise to me when there's something out there that does do it and it's not overly expensive. So we will be getting rid of this today. We're going to be doing the wiring for it, and I've also found somebody on the Facebook group, I can't remember your name, you have done a wiring diagram, even an explanation on how to fit the BEP 3.0 with the Speedo that I have. So I can't find a video on how to do it, so here we are. I'm going to be looking at what you've said, as well as fitting it, to hopefully get it so that the Speedo works, as he's also worked out what you need to put in for circumference of the wheels and how many magnets you're going to say it's going to need. So let's get this unboxed and we'll take a look at the parts, and then we can start looking again at it fits the bike. So this is from Motorcycles United, which I believe is from somewhere around Holland, Netherlands area. This is the BEP 3.0. So you've got your original plugs here. You've got 3 switches here. One of those, I believe, is for LED indicators. One is for speed, something. And then these are what I'm going to call your outputs, which go to your new Speedo. So they're all listed, but we also do have some instructions, which I've had to convert to English. And a little thing here that says about using the original clamp, which I didn't have or don't have anyway, so I can't use that. Just a bits of information in there. Now we have the Speedo, which I got mine from Amazon. A lot of people get theirs from eBay. So we've got instructions here. So it tells you what the wiring diagrams are, what's all listed, and what the Speedo will do. And then it's also talking about the speed sensor. So in here is the speed sensor that comes with the Speedo itself. Now, not going to be using this. It comes with the magnets that you'd stick to the wheel. Because the K100 already has a speed sensor built in, we're going to be using the wiring and the original speed sensor from that rather than using this. So that is no longer needed. It comes with the bracket. It comes with a bracket for the actual Speedo and also the bracket for the speed sensor, which once again we will not be using other than the main, this one. And then in here, we have the Speedo. So if you're looking at fitting one like this, or this one, which will be linked in the description below, then this will be how we wire it up. So we've got these wires on the bottom here. I'm going to have to extend these because of where the BEP is going to be fitted. It needs to be longer than this. So I will do that, and then I will hopefully wrap them up nicely, and we will have a longer wiring loom. But we'll leave that on till the last minute. Okay, so we have, following this diagram, which I will take a photo of and put onto our Google Drive, just pretty much followed this to a T with what these are so far, not to do this yet, to get to what we've got here. So what I've done is I've extended the wiring loom so it will now work to where I get to, and so I know what each wire is because I didn't have enough coloured wires. I've labelled them all, as you can see, so when it gets fitted into these, I know which one will go where by the labels, and I can leave them on. So now what I need to do is route this to where I want it to go, and I'm probably going to end up bolting this on at the moment as well, so we'll get that done now, and then we can start looking at where the wires go for this. To be honest, as long as you've got the instructions for these, knowing which one of these is which, it should be pretty self-explanatory to putting it into the Speedo. But we will give that a go now. So I'm fitting mine here, and it's going to be the R1 ignition barrel that's holding it in place. Now I think I'm going to have to mount this first, so let's do that. Okay, so that's tightened up where I think it needs to go. It's in place, so I might have to adjust it and move some stuff around. I'm hoping that I've made the wiring loom long enough to reach where it needs to go, otherwise I've ruined that. But let's try and get that sorted. Right, as you can see, the wiring is now in place. So I've ran it, as you've seen in the last clip, and then decided this morning it was too short. So it was only ending about here, and I didn't want it to be pulling on the control unit too much or any other problems. So I have put it through the original grommet that we've got. I also had a problem with the side light indicator on here. So on the wiring diagram, the way that it was put in, that I had to put it in the ones that's got two, it's basically for your hazard lights. Now this has two individual indicator ones, and then the hazard lights, when I bridge this connector here, shows up on there as both being flashed anyway, so that's not needed. So what I've then done is ran my own wire back to here, and I've wired it into the main beam. Now the reason for that is I tried on the side lights itself, and it even now it would give you a faint glow where it's putting a little bit of power through. It's an LED system, so I didn't want it to be on the side lights because I know that that's probably going to be quite bright at night, and even the side lights on this will be quite bright at night. So I want it to be main beam so that I know my main beam is on, and I'm happy. I'll probably have main beam on most of the time anyway. I do on the ZZR purely because it gives you more visibility when riding, so I'm hoping that will do the same, and that's how I want it. So that's what it's going to be. Now, one thing I did notice was the indicators, while I was testing that everything was working as it should, were flashing really fast. So this is your light control unit, the green box that sits at the back. I had to do a modification in that. Now I will link in the description below how you do that. It's just got to cut pin 7 basically on a little, I don't know what it is. I would say microchip, I don't think it is though. You cut pin 7, and now the indicators don't flash fast. So I'll bring you closer, you can have a look at it, and then we will look at what the instrument cluster looks like and how we set that up, and I'll show you the indicators working. Okay, so this is the unit. Obviously we are technically upside down. You've got your 3 switches in here, which is for indicators, speed, and the bar is for your tank. Now I don't know if mine's switched the right way yet. I'll have to find out as we go along. I'm not sure what the speed correction does, so I haven't touched that as of yet. All the wires are going in here. Now I do know what each wire does, because if I start peeling back this insulation here, all the little tags that I put on start appearing, so I know which one each one is. I just got to strip it down a little bit. I've basically made the loom a little bit too long now, and before it was too short, but I'm happy because I can move it around. Now I am storing it in this space down here. It does fit when I switch it round and push it down, and the cover goes on lovely as well. So that to me seemed like the best place to put it, to stop any sort of water ingress and ruining the control unit. So let's get to the actual Speedo itself. Okay, let's remove, there we go. Now we switch it on. Okay, so I have the instructions in front of me, which I will take a copy of and put in the Google Drive that we have. So what you need to do is to enter the setup menu, turn off the key and hold the button on the back, turn it on and hold it for a further 5 seconds. Okay, so hold the button on the back, ignition on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then it comes up, so we need 2, which we've got, 0, 6, 0, so we've got 2871. So you leave it flashing for a bit and it changes, so we need 2, 0. We're now on 2, 0. 6. and then the next one needs to be 0 and it's at 1. Two 20260 on setting 1, which is for the tyre circumference, and that will continuously flash now up until I hold the button now for 3 seconds. It goes to 2. So this is how many magnets you've got. So we're going to say that we've got 6 magnets. So 06 is what I've got already set to this. Same principle, you tap it to change it up, and then you hold it to change to menu 3. Now, menu 3 is how many cylinders you've got. So I need mine to be set to 4, which it already is set to 4, which is perfect. So we hold down again. Now, my next one is going to be for the resistance of the fuel sensor. I don't know what the resistance is going to be, so I'm leaving it at 2. Hold it again, and then we've got to reset the odometer, which was number 5. Now, by doing this, we'll take 200 kilometers or miles off on each press. So I don't like this function. I was hoping it was going to go up in value rather than down, so we could set it to the same, but it doesn't. So once again, hold it for another 3 seconds and it will do a reset. There we go. And as you can see, everything is now on there. Now the neutral light is on, the battery light's flashing because it's not running, so it's warning that it's not charging. And then if we look at the gear, if I go down, you can see it says gear 2. It's now in gear 1. So that all does work. And I have managed to go through all of the gears. It seems okay. It says it's got a full tank of fuel, no fuel's connected. So I'm hoping that it's just because it's an open circuit, it says it's full. I'm not sure yet, we'll have to figure that out, whether I've got the wrong switch switched. But yeah, now what we need to do is get the tank back on, get some fuel in it, and hopefully it will start with this system fitted. Okay, so moment of truth, will it run? Okay, so that is the BEP 3.0 and also the Amazon special / eBay special Speedo fitted. Hopefully it's been a help. There's been loads of documentation, hopefully, in the description. If it's been a help, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow along.